I laughed after my best friend gave my daughter to a human trafficker. Chapter 1. My best friend, Jessica, was so desperate to steal my husband, she secretly handed my 3-year-old daughter over to child traffickers. But after Lily disappeared, I actually took my time calmly putting on makeup. See, last time around, Mark, my husband, believed every lie Jessica fed him. He was convinced I'd deliberately abandoned our kid. He beat the crap out of me, then kicked me to the curb with nothing. Before I knew it, Jessica had gotten her wish and married Mark. And me? I was a crazy woman, tearing the world apart, searching for my little girl. Jessica, scared I'd find Lily and expose her, teamed up with those same traffickers and tricked me into going to Myanmar. I was humiliated and abused beyond belief. Over there, I only learned the truth from a trafficker on my deathbed. Then, bam, I woke up back on the day Lily vanished. Sarah, where's Lily? I can't find her. Jessica came rushing in from the backyard, all fake, panicked. I was sitting here with an eyebrow pencil, trying out the makeup she'd just given me, staying cool as a cucumber. Relax, Jess. She's probably just hiding like she always does, playing peek-a-boo. Truth is, I knew my daughter was already in the clutches of those dirtbags. Last time, I'd been a complete wreck, screaming and searching everywhere. All it got me was Mark's betrayal. Ended up broke and heartbroken then. Jessica lured me to hell. Lily was a doll, and I'd always taken care of her. She had these beautiful porcelain skin that everyone adored. Jessica even appointed herself Lily's godmother and started visiting all the time to play. Lily loved her, calling her Auntie Jess in her sweet little voice. But now I knew Jessica had been buttering her up for this very moment. She knew that if I lost Lily, Mark, who supposedly loved me with every fiber of his being, would turn on me. He'd leave me, and that's when she'd swoop in to pick up the pieces and marry the man of her dreams. Jessica did another sweep of the house, but I didn't bother getting up. Just sat in front of the mirror, casually drawing on my eyeliner. Sarah, I seriously can't find Lily. Why aren't you freaking out? The back gate was open. I'm terrified. Someone snatched her. That's when I put down the pencil. Watching Jessica practically burst into tears, I had to give her props for her Oscar-worthy performance. I had been a total fool last time. Until the very end, I never suspected that she was the one who'd contacted the traffickers and set everything in motion. Okay, calm down. I'll find the little rascal. She's probably hiding in some closet. I pretended to search for Lily, and then I heard the front door slam open downstairs. Lily's missing? What happened? How could she just disappear? Mark had raced home as soon as he got the call, looking frantic. Jessica saw him and immediately went into full meltdown mode, launching into her most dramatic act yet. Lily was playing in the yard. Sarah just had to try out the makeup I got her and completely ignored her. I asked her to keep an eye on Lily, but she wouldn't listen. She said it was fine, nothing would happen. And then Lily was gone. Sure enough, hearing that, Mark's eyes bugged out and he pointed at me, his face. What if something really bad happened to her? He started tearing through the house, desperately hoping Lily was just playing hide and seek. Jessica acted even more frantic than Mark, even rummaging through our unfinished basement. But I knew it was all a show, a carefully crafted performance for Mark's benefit. Lily's really not hiding. Sarah, you have to think. Where could she be? Seeing her all helpless and tearful, I just replied coldly, I'll check the security cameras at the front entrance. There's one not too far away from our front door. Hearing that, Jessica's eyes flickered with panic just for a split second. If we identified the traffickers, she'd be exposed. Soon, Mark and I were at the security office, checking the footage. Sure enough, Lily had been grabbed by two people in masks and baseball caps and shoved into a black sedan. Don't worry. The license plate is clear. We'll track down the car and we'll get Lily back. Compared to the constantly sobbing Jessica, I seemed strangely calm. But then, smack. Before I could finish, Mark slapped me so hard, I almost fell. That's our daughter. Now we know she's been kidnapped. Maybe you should take a hard look at your own. King problems. I spend all this money taking care of you, and you can't even watch our own kid. I touched my stinging cheek, my eyes filled with disappointment. Just like last time, after confirming Lily had been taken, he unleashed all his rage on me. He spewed out all the same words, cutting me deep. Did he ever stop to think that as a mother, I was suffering the most? Lily was a part of me. She was the most precious thing in my life. Last time, I not only had to endure the soul-crushing pain of losing my daughter, I also had to endure his endless yelling and abuse. Hey, this isn't the time to blame Sarah. First, we need to call 911, get the cops to track the car. Maybe Lily will be back soon. Jessica was the one who grabbed her phone and called the cops for us. That surprised me. Last time, it hadn't occurred to me to check the security footage right away, and Jessica hadn't mentioned it. So we wasted a lot of time. By the time the cops tracked down the car, it was too late. Lily was gone. But this time, after finding out about the car, Jessica wasn't nervous. Instead, she called the cops herself. Soon, the police were tracking down the traffickers based on the license plate. At the same time, my in-laws found out about Lily and came storming over. As soon as they saw me, the shouting started. Why did my son marry a useless woman like you? You sit around all day eating bonbons and doing nothing. We've given you everything you could ever want. And you can't even keep track of a child. If Lily isn't found, you might as well drop dead. My mother-in-law had always had a nasty temper. She'd never liked me. One reason was that I hadn't given them a grandson. The other was that she hated I didn't work, and my husband had to support me. But it was Mark who didn't want me to work. He always said he'd make the money, and I just needed to look pretty. It's not that I don't want to work. You need to ask your son why I don't. Even reborn, all the frustration and anger from my past life were still burning inside me. Last time, I'd been too afraid to argue, blaming myself. But this time, I wasn't going to take it anymore. But as soon as I finished speaking, Mark slapped me again and yelled, "How dare you speak to my mom like that? Is that the attitude you think you should have? What did my mom even say wrong? You're useless right now." My mother-in-law shoved me hard. I lost my balance and went tumbling down the stairs. I hit my head several times on the steps as I rolled all the way down. The impact made me dizzy and sore all over. But they just stood there and watched me, not lifting a finger. Serves you right. Quit faking it and get up. This isn't the time for you to play dead. As I lay on the floor in so much pain I couldn't move, a police car screeched to a halt outside. Seeing it, Mark and his parents immediately perked up, rushing to greet the officers. "Officers, where's my daughter?" But the police who got out weren't holding my daughter. Mark's face fell. The officers looked grim. "We caught the traffickers, but your daughter wasn't in the car." The officers' words crushed everyone's hopes. But Jessica's lips curled into a faint smile. How could this be? The cameras showed them taking my daughter in the car. How could she not be there? Mark was furious and almost grabbed the officer's collar. Then the police turned to me. "Ms. Sarah, you probably know how your daughter went missing better than anyone else, right?" That made everyone scratch their heads. Everyone stared at me in shock. I was just as confused not understanding what the police were saving.
What do you mean by that?
The officer's face darkened. What he said next made everyone angrier than ever. The traffickers have confessed. They said they weren't real traffickers. They said you contacted them beforehand and told them to take the child. You did it to act out a charade for your husband. Mark stared at the officer, wondering if he'd heard wrong. Finally, it registered, and he turned to me, his mouth agape. Sarah, are you out of your mind? What are you trying to do? What kind of stunt are you pulling now? My mother-in-law charged at me, grabbing my clothes and demanding. So, where are you hiding Lily? She's not just your daughter. She's my granddaughter. What right do you have to hide her? UB*T. I never imagined the traffickers would claim I was behind all of this. I glanced at Jessica and saw open defiance in her eyes. But just as quickly, it was gone. I'm Lily's mother. How could I do something like that? I tried to explain, but it was futile. No one believed me. Even the police frowned, their voices becoming harsher. Miss Sarah, while this might be a family matter, it's affecting police resources and causing trouble for the community. Besides, the traffickers confessed you thought the child was too annoying and disrupting your life, so you wanted to get rid of her, right? As a mother, you shouldn't be so irresponsible. The police's words ignited everyone's anger. Again, I never expected that after catching the traffickers, I would be the one accused. Mark grabbed me by the collar. His eyes, Sarah, do you have any humanity?
Our
daughter is so lovable and you think she's annoying and want to get rid of her. Are you even human? He slapped me again, hard. I didn't. I would never do that. The overwhelming injustice and pain crushed me again.
How could I do that to my own child?
But no one believed me. Then, Jessica lowered her head to Mark and apologized, her eyes filled with tears. Mark stared at her in confusion. What do you mean? Jessica sniffled and pretended to be in pain. Actually, Sarah mentioned to me several times that Lily was annoying, ruining her youth, forcing her to stay home all the time. Sarah even said she didn't want Lily and wanted to dump her. But I thought she was joking, so I never took it seriously. It's all my fault. I should have taken this seriously and told you sooner. Maybe today wouldn't have happened. Jessica started crying, acting incredibly remorseful. I was numb. Her slander at this moment was like a knife to the heart, like a sword straight through my heart, causing pain from the very depths of my
soul.
Sarah? Mark believed her without question. He went berserk, his eyes filled with murderous intent. My mother-in-law went crazy, clawing at me, grabbing my hair, and slapping me 4 or 5 times. You venomous woman. You lowlife. You worthless piece of sh*T. You're too evil to live. I gritted my teeth and used all my strength to push away my out of control mother-in-law. I said I didn't. I screamed, with nothing but hate for all of them. Mark, I'm your wife. You'd rather believe her than me. I pointed at Jessica, staring intensely at Mark, wanting to know what he thought. Sarah, I regret it. I regret choosing you instead of Jessica. Jessica is 1,000 times better than you. Mark's words sent me tumbling into the abyss. Last time, even after he forced me out, I still felt guilty. I thought I'd lost my daughter and deserved what I got. But now, he was believing the woman who'd sold his own daughter to traffickers. I had nothing left for him but hate. Sarah, even though Mark chose you, I was sad, but I truly hoped you'd be happy. But how could you do something so evil? Lily is your own daughter. Jessica continued to sob, pretending to be the victim. But I slapped her so hard her head snapped back. U F asterisk king B asterisk TC. Keen actual. Keep acting. Since I saw everyone for who they were, the show was over. Chapter 2. Nobody expected me to snap and smack Jessica like that. But, proving once again that I live in a God asterisk MN soap opera, Mark immediately jumped to her defense. Then he slapped me. Sarah, what's gotten into you? You're acting like a damn psycho. What right do you have to hit Jessica? What has she said that wasn't completely true? Jessica clutched her face, letting the tears stream down her cheeks. Yes, Sarah, what did I say that wasn't true? You were the one who said you didn't want Lily. Even if you didn't, you could have given her
To me.
I've loved Lily like she was my own. I swear, I truly do. Every word out of Jessica's mouth made me want to puke. That's bullsh asterisk T. You're the one who handed my daughter to those creeps. This whole thing, it's all a setup by you, right? If Mark hadn't been holding me back, I would have beaten her to a pulp. But as soon as I tried to get closer, Mark grabbed my hair and yanked me away. Stay away from Jessica. I've seen how good Jessica has been to Lily over the years. I believe everything she says is the truth. My mother-in-law nodded emphatically, looking at Jessica with concern. That's right, Jessica is always around, helping you take care of Lily, buying her clothes and toys and candy. I wish Lily could have been Jessica and Mark's child. Unfortunately, the poor kid didn't get a
choice.
Lily got stuck with you as a mother. You toxic B asterisk T. Watching them all rally around Jessica, I felt hopeless. Over the years, Jessica had really worked hard to create this image of herself. She'd wormed her way into everyone's heart, all while pretending to be my bestie.
If my daughter was here right now, she'd
probably still call her Auntie Jess in that sweet little voice of hers. She'd gone to such great lengths to get Mark to make him completely forget about me. She definitely put in work to get to this point. Jessica, don't think I don't know what you're after. You're doing this to get Mark. How many suggestive texts have you sent him over the years? You think I don't know? I'll divorce him right now. I'll set you two up. Mark obviously didn't expect me to bring up the D word first, but he immediately grabbed my collar and slammed me against the wall, his eyes furious. You don't get to decide that. What makes you think you have the right? Right now, all you deserve is to be left with nothing. Get the hell out. I shoved Mark away, staring him down as I spat out. You're the one who deserves to be left with nothing. Nothing. But as soon as I'd unleashed that anger, which had been building up for 2 lifetimes, my mom showed up and slapped me, too. Are you kidding me, Sarah? How can you act like such a brat after all this? Stop using that tone when you talk to Mark. My parents had gotten the call and rushed over. They'd arrived just in time to see me and Mark screaming at each other. They also assumed I'd lost Lily. So, they only felt sorry for Mark. You're married after all. If Lily comes back, this family can't be torn apart. My dad had always cared what people thought, but now he was groveling in front of Mark, tears in his eyes. Seeing him like that made me feel even worse. How can I forgive her? This woman disgusts me now. It was clear Mark had made up his mind. Just like last time, he wanted me out of the house. Oh, for crying out loud, why is everything so dramatic? Sarah, get down on your knees and apologize to Mark. My mom had always been impatient, and seeing Mark so determined, she almost jumped out of her skin. She grabbed my arm, trying to force me to kneel and apologize. I yanked away. I said, I didn't do it. I'm not going to apologize. Why doesn't anyone believe me? Right then, one of the cops who'd been standing there quietly answered a call, and his face turned grim. He gave me a hard look. Miss Sarah, you've gone this far. Don't you feel any remorse? I answered angrily. This is all a setup by Jessica. Why should I feel remorse? She's the one you should be arresting. The cop shook his head in disappointment. Miss Sarah, besides the witness testimony, we've now got evidence from the traffickers. This is not just a family matter. This may involve a serious case of human trafficking. The cop pulled out his phone and showed me some pictures. My eyes went wide. I never imagined Jessica would have so many tricks up her sleeve just to destroy me. The pictures showed calls and texts between the traffickers, the other person they were communicating with. It was me. 10 grand has been deposited into the account. Tomorrow at 10 a.m., I'll let her play in the yard. You can sneak in and take her. Every single word stabbed me in the heart. This isn't real. They're lying about me. I screamed, frantically grabbing my phone to show the police my messages. There was no conversation like that on my phone. But the cop just glanced at my phone and handed it back. Weren't you paid 10 grand already?
What?
Are you trying to deny? That's when I noticed the 10 grand in my bank statement. I hadn't even thought to check. That's when I remembered Jessica asking me to order something online for her the day before. That must have been when she took my phone and set all of this up. She deleted the messages, but intentionally left the transfer. That meant I couldn't prove anything. Sarah, you're out of your F***king mind. 10 grand. You sold our daughter for 10 grand. Are you that obsessed with money? Isn't the allowance I give you every month enough? That was it. Mark completely lost it, his eyes bulging. He grabbed me by the neck. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I was suffocating. Luckily, the cops pulled him away, then pulled out the handcuffs to arrest me. Throw this woman in jail and lose the key. She sold her own daughter for 10 grand. That's something an animal would do. Just execute her already. My mother-in-law snarled, pointing her finger at me. My parents were dumbstruck, never thinking I could do something so heartless. Then my dad grabbed my head and forced me to kneel. He was so strong my knees hurt as I hit the floor. You evil B***TC. How could you do something so monstrous? Call those traffickers and get Lily back. She's your own flesh and blood. My dad was weeping openly. I could tell he was heartbroken. Last time, I'd lost Lily, and I had lost my mind, lost in self-blame. Jessica didn't need this stunt to destroy my family. My parents aged overnight. But now, after being reborn, the blow they suffered was even greater than last time. And it was all because of that B***TCH Jessica. I hated her. I wanted to skin her alive. What are you waiting for? Call those traffickers. The longer Lily is with them, the more danger she's in. My mom shoved my phone in my face. They were convinced I'd actually sold my daughter for 10 grand. Then, Mark started laughing. Forget it. I don't want a piece of trash born from a snake like you. Mark, don't want anything to do with her. With a mom this toxic, that kid will grow up to be a snake, too. Just pretend I fathered a bastard out there. I don't give a damn whether she lives or dies. Then, he looked at Jessica with affection and tenderness. Jessica, I was wrong about you. If you're still willing, we can get married right now. From now on, you'll be my wife, and I'll never let you down. This time, Mark gave up on his daughter even faster than last time. Jessica looked overjoyed, barely able to hide her smile. But she said, pretending to be a good person, Mark, no matter what, Lily is your child. And I've watched her grow up since she was little. I'd be heartbroken if anything happened to her. Let's try to find a way to get Lily back first. Her words made my in-laws happy. Jessica is so much better than that toxic. Jessica, Mark should have married you. I would be dreaming if you were my daughter. In-law. Forget that B***TCH's kid. After you and Mark get married, you can have one of your own. My mother-in-law grabbed Jessica's hand happily. The sadness of losing Lily disappeared instantly. Last time, it had been like this, too. They'd had a child soon after getting married. And Mark had never asked me about Lily. Again. He didn't give a damn whether she lived or
Died.
only I was out there, searching the world, living in a nightmare for a whole year. Finally, when I was close to the truth, Jessica tricked me, telling me someone had seen Lily in Myanmar. She sent me on a path to my doom. I saw right through them. But my parents couldn't take it anymore. Mark had always been their golden boy. Seeing him about to marry Jessica, my mom knelt in front of him. Mark, please don't do this. Lily is still your
Child.
For Lily's sake, please give us another chance. I'm begging you, begging you. In desperation, my mom started kowtowing. It broke my heart.
Mom, don't.
Why are you begging him? I wasn't planning on staying with him. Anyway, even if he doesn't divorce me, I'm divorcing him. I try to help her up, but she pushed me
Away.
How can you say that, you evil woman? You've done something so inhumane.
How?
Can you even think about divorce? Now, as long as Mark is willing to take Lily back, you can be their maid for the rest of your life to pay for your sins. My dad's attitude chilled me even more. He bit his lip and yelled, "Since you could do something so evil, I'll pretend I never had a daughter like you. You've embarrassed me." Mark looked impatient. He grabbed my hair and dragged me toward
The door.
Get out. I feel disgusted having you stand here. Don't ever let me see you again. My in-laws pushed my parents out, yelling and cursing. Yeah, get out, the whole damn family. Having in-laws like you is the worst thing that could overban her. Jessica couldn't hold back her smile. Her eyes were full of defiance. But then, another police car pulled up in front of the house. Next, a female cop holding Lily, who was licking a lollipop, walked toward us. Seeing Lily, I finally started to breathe again. Jessica, now it was your turn to pay. As soon as Jessica saw Lily, her smile froze. Her eyes were full of shock and fear. The Marks family watched Lily in the officer's arms, completely confused. Mommy. Lily saw me, immediately opened her arms, and called my name. I couldn't hold back my tears. I took Lily from the officer and hugged her tight. Last time, I'd spent a whole year in endless
Grief.
even after being reborn. Lily had been taken before I could see her again. Luckily, this time, I had succeeded. I'd managed to get her back. As soon as I was reborn, I had contacted my college friend Lee, who worked for the police. I'd given her the license plate of the trafficker's car. Jessica had backtracked and switched cars. Halfway. She'd also had those two traffickers lie to make it look like I'd sold Lily. Lee hadn't let me down. She'd intercepted the other car and brought Lily back. Lee, thank you. Thank you so much. I hugged her tightly, sobbing. Lee patted me on the back. It's over, Sarah. It's all over. But my eyes were determined. I turned and looked at Jessica. No, it's just getting started. Now that Lily was back, my parents were relieved. Then they turned back to Mark. Mark, you see, Lily is back. For Lily's sake, give our family another chance. Lily, who was only 3, didn't know what was going on. She looked at Mark with her big, dark eyes, then ran towards Mark, opened her arms, and said in her sweet voice, "Daddy, hug me." Unfortunately, as soon as Lily reached him, Mark kicked her to the ground. Get away, you little trash. Lily fell to the ground and started crying loudly. Mark, are you even human? I ran over and picked up Lily. My eyes were full of anger. My eyes were full of anger. Mark frowned and sneered. At least I'm human, unlike you. Stop acting like you're such a good person in front of the police. Didn't you think she was annoying?
Didn't.
You sell her to the traffickers. Why are you acting like a good mom now? The more you do that, the more disgusted I am. Even now, Mark was still being manipulated by Jessica, and I felt sorry for him. So, even now, You still believe this be asterisk t. So, even now you still believe this be asterisk tsh. Fine. Today, I'll make sure you see her true colors. Jessica was pale and covered in sweat. She gave Mark a fake smile and said, "Okay, Mark, Lily's back. You should give Sarah another chance. You're married after all. Besides, you have such a lovely daughter, Lily. It's not worth falling out because of me." Jessica's attitude had completely changed. All she wanted to do now was get out of there as soon as possible. But Mark grabbed her hand and said, "Jessica, you're too kind. Even now you're still pleading for this woman. But I told you, she doesn't deserve to be my wife. I've already wronged you by choosing her over you. Don't worry, I'll do my best to make it up to you for the rest of my life." I couldn't help but laugh at Mark. I didn't love him anymore. It was like watching an idiot confess to a Mark, "You're the biggest idiot in the world." Mark was furious again, and he wanted to slap me, but Jessica stopped him. She was scared. She didn't want things to get worse. "Mark, calm down. Besides, it's been years since we were together. I've moved on. You should try to make things work with Sarah." I suddenly feel a little sick. "I'm going home." She started to leave, but as she passed, I slapped her, trying to run away now. Too late. "Sarah, don't go too far." Mark rushed forward to protect Jessica, but this time, I slapped Mark. It was loud. "How dare you hit me?" Mark was furious. I smiled. I've wanted to do that for a long time. Then, as he raised his hand, ready to slap me, I yelled, "Mark, how can you be so stupid? Don't you know that Jessica sold our daughter?" Mark's hand stopped in midair, but he shook his head and said, "That's impossible. Jessica would never do that." "Huh." I smiled bitterly. Then Lee's phone rang. As soon as she answered, she ran up to another police officer and yelled, "Arrest Jessica. The traffickers have confessed. She's the one who told them to do it." Jessica tried to run, but she couldn't escape. The police grabbed her shoulders. "Why are you arresting me? I've been framed. Sarah wanted to sell her daughter. It has nothing to do with me." But when Jessica saw the photos that Lee received, her legs went weak. The photos had all the messages between Jessica and the traffickers, the records of the transfers of money. Jessica didn't take a single cent. She'd given the traffickers 30 grand to carry out the plan. Meanwhile, the traffickers had confessed to the police. Jessica had told them to frame me. The goal was for Mark to lose all hope in me, even have me sent to prison on human trafficking charges. With the evidence, no matter what Jessica said, she was taken to a police car. Only then did Mark realize the truth. "Honey, why didn't you tell me the truth earlier? I wouldn't have been manipulated by that." B***. After Jessica was taken away, Mark changed his attitude. "Mark, now you know I'm your wife. I told you so many times, but you didn't believe me. You believed all of that B*****'''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''''' and had lost hope in him. I picked up my daughter and dropped one last sentence. "Let's get a divorce. Stay away from us." As I turned to leave, Mark grabbed my hand. "No, I'm not getting a divorce. Lily is my daughter. I can't let her grow up without a father." He tried to take my daughter. After what he had done, my daughter started crying as soon as she saw him. "Stay away from my daughter. If you won't give me a divorce, I'll see you in court." Because of human trafficking, Jessica was sentenced to death 6 months later. The whole thing was a sensation online. When the verdict came down, everyone cheered. Everyone hates human traffickers. As for Mark, I finally saw him in court. I thought it would be a difficult case. I hadn't worked in 3 years. I worried that the court would give custody of my daughter to Mark. But Mark backed down. He gave me my daughter and agreed to give up everything. Money. I asked him why he did it. He said he only hoped that his daughter would still call him Dad one day. I looked at my daughter. She started crying every time she saw him. I smiled. The kid was still little, but when she grew up, she'd know that her own father had called her trash, that he hadn't even bothered to find out if she was alive, that he hadn't even bothered to find out if she was alive. How could she call him Dad?